What is up, guys? Steve here with Scotch and Things. You get a little work update. What a kick in the nuts this week has been. Oh. Have you ever just wasted money just to waste money? So, this bin, GSI, we were supposed to come out the first part of December and build. Man, and I did something to my hand yesterday. I jammed it, like, you know when you jam your fingers really bad, but I can't remember. I did it towards the end of the day. I can't remember how I did it, but my God, I can barely make a fist. I can't remember. It was at the end. I can't remember what I was doing to jam them, but it's like my pinky and ring finger on my right. God dang. Anyway, so it kept getting pushed back. It kept getting pushed back. Kept getting pushed back. We'll talk about some knife stuff too in a little bit. And talked to the dealer. He's like, I'm like, look, man. You know, I go on vacation. We go to Texas for 2 weeks. After Christmas every year. Because then at this point the bin was supposed to ship on the 15th finally, and I'm like, that's a Sunday. Are you sure they're shipping on a Sunday? And then it was supposed to be the 16th and the 17th. Finally it showed up like the 18th. I was like, he goes, just go out and get the roof built, because I'm like, I really don't want to leave a bin, you know. I don't want to start, if I can't get the bin all the way jacked, I don't want to leave it that vulnerable to, you know, you can get some pretty big winds in the winter, in January. And he was like, just go out and build it, because he didn't want to have to tarp the sheets. He goes, go out and just get the roof built, because we put everything inside, right? We get all the sidewall sheets, we put them on the inside of the bin, and we're building, we put them on from the inside. Anyway, so that way everything's, you know, secure in case there's rain or snow, because you don't want moisture sitting on those. They can develop white rust pretty quick. So, all right, so that was the plan. Go out and build the roof. Should have been easy, but of course it's winter, so nothing's ever easy. And then we get out there, and we just got done doing, we just did one of these in November. And well, we get out here. This was the one we did was a 48 8 ring. This is a 42 11 ring. Thought it was going to be the same. For some reason, this has a structured roof. When I say structured, it's got the full rafter package. So get here. What did we get here? Wednesday. Got here Wednesday afternoon around, I don't know, 1 o'clock or something like that. They were still unloading the bin. Then the rest of the day, Wednesday, basically just spent the day moving stuff around where we needed to be, get stuff, you know, they just unload stuff and just pile it wherever. So we do that. Thursday, it was blowing. I mean, we weren't going to start standing any sidewall sheets, because I'm like, it's going to be really windy. And I don't want stuff, you know, because you can't get the whole roof on. You don't want to start standing sidewall sheets and leave them vulnerable to collapsing in. So yeah, so Thursday, high winds. It was blowing 30, 40, finally got up to like close to 50 mile an hour winds. So we built the rafters, just dust everywhere, just in your teeth. Just we have a little place around the corner inside that we can work, so we built all the stiffeners inside, got the rafters done, built the platform, and then pretty much we're done. So go back to the hotel at like 2 o'clock that day. Yesterday, then, and it's been fairly reasonable, you know, 40s. It's still cold in the morning. Yesterday, we started out the morning at a crisp 15 degrees. Let me tell you, 15 degrees and metal. Everything's, it was miserable. Yesterday was miserable. The high finally got up to around, I think the high was 25 for an hour or two yesterday. So we suffered yesterday. We got the 2 sidewall sheets done, rafters, and not the rafters, sorry. Got the sidewall sheet, all the bolts put in, got all the stiffeners on, and then it was like 4:30, and we're not gonna got the peak ring stood. You're not going to get rafters up before it gets dark. And that's another thing that sucks about wintertime, man. We starting around 9 in the morning and it's still 15 degrees out. And then you're done working at 4:35. You're losing daylight quick. So today we're going to do rafters. Saturday. Get the peak rings up in the air. Big peak ring, bigger than normal for a structured roof, and get the first 2 rafters up. And then there's an issue. So we start with rafters. You want to split it. You put them up evenly. So we put one up, one directly across, and then we split the bin to get an even amount of rafters up across from each other to make everything stable. Get the first 2 up and counting holes. There's 14 rafters in this bin, and there should be 14 sets of corresponding holes at the peak ring. Well, we've got 16. We're like, what the hell? We're trying to figure it out. Like, okay, we can make it work if we skip a hole, but then that puts the rafter distance off, because then they call them purlins. It's basically cross bracing. And once we get the rafters up, the cross bracing to make them, like an A-frame rafter goes in, right? Well, that won't work. Of course, it's Saturday. Call the dealer. Trying to get I called GSI. You can't get a hold of anybody. Finally, he got a hold. I'm like, this isn't going to work. It'll throw off I said, this is the wrong peak ring, and it's stamped with the right. So you're checking part numbers, right? You're looking at part numbers, and the part number was 1703 if you care in the book. Well, someone had welded 1703 inside the peak ring, but then it has a different part number stamped. So screw up at the factory. Finally getting, I'm talking with the owner, Neil, the guy who owns the millwright company, the dealer who sold this project, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. I said it'll put our spacing off too far, to the cross bracing won't fit in 2 sets of rafters then, and that screws everything up because of the way this roof sheets, blah blah blah. You get the gist. Finally, he was able to get a hold of his sales rep, and then who was able to get a hold of an engineer from GSI who called me and, basically just confirmed what I had said. Yeah, I had a peak ring. They had sent out the peak ring for a 48-foot diameter bin, not the 42. I'm like, oh God. And they're shut down until the 6th, which is no big deal, but because we're going to be gone until like the 8th or 9th, and we'll come out to like the 10th of January, 11th, something like that. But we just spun our wheels for the last 4 days, right? It was basically nothing got accomplished. So then it's tear down, take the 2 rafters, the supporting rafters that we had in place off, take the peak ring back down, take our center tree down, because you don't want to leave that up in case wind. You don't want something blowing over, even though it's anchored. Strong enough winds are going to pull anchors out. Take our scaffolding all the way down. I'm like, you want us to pull these sidewall sheets down? Your call. He said no. So we took the bottom set of stiffeners. When the bin is all done, there's a bottom set of stiffeners that's got a foot on it, and that's what we use to, then you drill and put your anchor in the concrete. We took all those, and I don't want them on the outside of the bin because I don't want holes getting in the way. So we put those on the inside and put 14 of those on, and then we drill into the side of the concrete on the outside and put straps on, put 14 of those on. We had those on yesterday, but so there's 28 anchor points, plus we anchored in 2 spots to a telehandler. Should be safe. Cross your fingers. What a nightmare. So what a nightmare. I mean, it was just like we froze we just literally came out here and, we just did busy work, basically. Pissed away money on labor, pissed away money on hotel and food, and you're just kind of like one of those things like, oh my gosh, you just damned if you do, damned if you don't. So that was that. We got crap on. What else? Got a shipping notification on a knife. It probably won't be here by the time I leave. It says it'll be here Monday, the 28th of December, even though it shipped 2 days ago. On a knife that I bought in July. I bought this knife in July. So maybe you'll get to see that. Maybe you'll see it next month. I don't know when it'll be here. Oh, man. Other than that, I did the collection update video and sold a bunch of stuff. It's so much easier dealing with you guys, man. And then I posted a bunch of stuff for sale on Facebook, and man, it is such a hassle dealing with people on Facebook. And I get it, right? Because we've talked about this in the past. There's scammers out there, people scamming you all the time. So they always want pictures and videos and blah, 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 and times. It's just like they're thinking in more and more creative ways to like make you jump through hoops to prove that you're who you are, which is, I get it. It's fine. They don't want to get screwed out of money. I understand. One guy was buying a knife though, and he hits me back up. He's like, there's no profile picture on your PayPal account. I'm like, what? Well, there's no picture on your PayPal. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I don't even know how to do that. I'm like, buy the knife, don't buy the knife, I don't care. Here's vouchers. And it's funny, like my buddy was selling 2 Rips Garage Tech Chris Reeve clips for like 50 or 60 bucks, right? And some guy, he's like, can you give me a vouch? This guy, there's a page called EDC Go No Go, right? For people to post about scammers and whatnot. Well, he puts a post in that group wanting, asking if anybody's done deals with my buddy. He's like, because his name is different than his Facebook name. And this guy is all bent out of shape about it. And even before that, my buddy was like, dude, look, man, it's 50 bucks. I'll send you the clip and you can pay me when you get it. But the guy is still like going out of his way, creating this hassle. And my buddy explains to him, he's like, look, man, I'm a pretty private person. My job is, kind of sensitive. And yeah, I don't use my real name on Facebook. Like his company, Power Grid stuff, his company has to post a list of employees and their salaries every year. His salary is there, but then his name is redacted from that because of his position, top secret stuff, whatever. I don't, and this guy's making this big fucking deal. So me and a couple other guys that my buddy's done deals with, we're posting vouchers, and this guy is still just being I don't know what's up this guy's ass. I was like, dude, look, man, he offered to send you the clip and you can pay once you get, I'm like, well, he's not very active where, he posted in the Chris Reeve group. He's like, he hasn't posted a picture since last year. And I'm like, look, man, not everybody's a picture whore, right? Not everybody goes around posting pictures of their knives all the time. I said, here's the groups. I was kind of fed up with this guy at this point, making it my business, because why not? I'm like, here's the groups he's active in, man. Strider, Emerson, Grimsmo. And then he's like, well, he's not. He goes, well, I'm not in those groups. I'm like, how is that his fault that you're not in the same groups? Dude, I'm like, just drop this. This is completely gotten out of hand. And this guy was just, and then you look at his, his profile, and he's just kind of one of those guys that's looking to catch somebody. He wants that gold star from the group. He wants that pat on the back for catching the scammer. And it's just like, dude, whatever. That's why, I hate selling on, that's where I sell mostly, but it's such a pain in the ass. It is such a pain in the ass. So yeah, there's that. That guy I got a chuckle out of it, because he was just like, and he just wouldn't drop it. Well, his name, like, dude, he offered, like, what are you crying about? He offered to send this to you. So I don't know. What else is new? That's about it. I'm just kind of like, this whole trip was a disaster. We go out to leave, and my telehandler trailer has a flat tire. Called the dealer, thank God. He was like, no, my telehandler's on site, because that would have put us even further behind, because to unload the telehandler and take the trailer in, could have aired it up, but when you're pulling 16,000 pounds, you don't want to mess around with tires. So we gotta make sure that tire is legit. Batteries are going dead in one of the trucks. I got to change those when I get home. Just, oh man, building bins in the winter is not fun. Haven't had to do it. Like, we work in the cold weather, late fall, or we work into December a lot, and start early in spring. We've started in February, you know. We work in the cold, but usually it's starting to warm up. It's been pretty mild here. I haven't built a bin. It's been 5 or 6 years, man, since we've worked in, like, we'll be working in January, where it's just miserable. Imagine that stuff sits outside all night, 0 degrees, and these cold, you're reaching your hands in these cold buckets of bolts, and everything is just freezing to the touch. It's just much easier, like, even though it can get blazing hot in the summertime, you can deal with that, right? You can hydrate, you just kind of suffer. It's much different in the wintertime. It is just miserable. Your steel toes, your toes are just frozen all day long because that steel toe just holds that cold in around your toes, you know, and it's just harder to move around because you've got multiple layers on. Just, I don't know, just no bueno. So, all right, gonna get our crap out of the hotel and go home, and I don't know, talk to you guys later. Bye.